Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay. Almost there. What's going on here? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, July 30th. We have one more day to go in the month of July. Oh my goodness, this year is going real quick, isn't it? Good evening. Welcome to Rock Vibe Gospel Radio, where your host is Evangelist Green. As you know, today is Wednesday, and we have Dr. Akins in the house. Good evening, Dr. Akins. Welcome back again. Welcome back. Yes, please join us Monday through Friday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. And on Sunday mornings, you have 8 to 9 a.m. where you have Reverend Dr. Green come on and deliver his words. You can join us on our nightly discussions. You can call in at 718-300-1772. You can voice your opinion or just say hello. You can also download the app in your app store, your Play Store, or even go to Google and just type in Rock Vibe Gospel Production and just listen or watch live or whatever you want to do. You even go back on the recordings if you ever miss any of our discussions. You know, you also have Zoom. So it's nice if you can come on to Zoom so you can see what Dr. Akins have up on the screen here. His what he has up here that he's going to be teaching us. So if you can download the app Zoom and type in 829-600-2407, and the passcode is number 5, lowercase k, capital ZXZ, the number 6. So just come on and join us in our multiple platforms. We also have YouTube. You can also watch live on YouTube. So just come on in and you're welcome. Okay, Dr. Akins, it's all in your hands.
All right. Well, good evening. Good evening. Great evening to everyone. Good to have everyone back. And we're ready to pick up where we left off. We've been talking about powerful ways to cultivate self-discipline. And last week we began to dive into 24 ways to be more coachable. 24 ways to be more coachable. So we were able to make it through, I think, the first 7, right?
Yeah.
And so we're just going to do a quick recap. The first we talked about was respect the delivery, even if you do not like it. So when you're the client, right? When you're being coached, respect the delivery, even if you do not like it. Number 2, do not take it personally. Don't take the coaching personally. The coaching is not about you. It's about the results that you're either getting or not getting. Right. Number 3 is to talk less and listen more, right? Number 4 is to believe in your coach, because if they believe in you, you owe it to yourself to match that belief, right? Number 5 is to accept the challenges, right? Accept that challenge. You want to be successful? Your coach's mission is to help you succeed. So be willing to accept the challenge that goes with that process. Also, number 6 is to your response speaks volumes. Your response to the coaching tells the coach how committed you are to truly growing. Okay. And number 7 is to check your body language. Be intentional about your presence. What message does your body language send to the public? All right. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to keep pushing forward. All right. So tonight we're going to start with number 8. And again, if y'all want to have a conversation about anything, feel free to stop me at any point, ask your questions, and let's get the full value of the information. Right. So number 8 is gather information, but do not compare. Okay? Gather information, do not compare. So you want to learn without measuring yourself against others. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Gathering information is about learning but you're learning and not measuring yourself against other people, because comparisons dilute progress. Okay, comparisons dilute progress. When or if you do make comparisons, the comparisons are not against others, it's against standards. So whenever you make comparisons, don't compare yourself to other people, compare yourself against standards, and then measure yourself there. Where do I measure up against the standard? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Not against other people. Okay, any questions or comments on that?
No.
All right. Number 9. Speak when it matters. Speak when it matters. Now, we already talked about talk less, listen more, right? But we want to speak when it matters. If you have insight, if you have feedback, or if you have questions, that's the time to share them. So we don't want you to be in perpetual silence, but know when to speak and speak when it matters.
Right.
Okay? Honest dialogue fuels development. Just like being a student in the class. When you're in the class, that's the time to ask questions. That's the time for honest dialogue, right? Don't walk out of anybody's classroom with questions and you haven't posed those questions to whoever's teaching. The teacher deserves the first crack at answering any question that you have. It's only fair to the teacher. Don't go ask somebody else about something somebody else was teaching about. If you want clarity, get it from the person who's teaching.
Exactly.
So everybody get it?
That's right.
All right. Any questions or comments on that?
Not yet.
Okay. Number 10, use coaching to your advantage. Okay? Use coaching to your advantage. Coaching is a resource, not a rebuke. Remember, don't take it personally. It's not a personal attack. It's not a rebuke. It's feedback. So it's a resource for you to leverage. You're getting feedback from the expert. The expert is giving you feedback to empower you, not to embarrass you. Does everybody understand? So that's important. Apply what you learn strategically, right? Information to immersion. Information to the speed of implementation. How quickly can I begin to implement strategically the things that I'm learning? Because it doesn't mean anything if it doesn't produce anything. So I need to go make it produce something. Let's take the information and let's begin to immerse it into, right? I want to immerse it into my personality, into my character, into my habits, into my strategies, into my processes, whatever I'm doing, so that I can get the results that I'm looking for. Right? We got to get quickly into execution. Okay? So use coaching to your advantage. Number 11, accept both praise and correction. Accept both praise and correction. Again, this is 24 ways to be more coachable. Growth comes from celebrating your wins and learning from your missteps. So your missteps are valuable as well, sometimes more valuable than the wins, because you tend to learn more from your losses or from your missteps than you do sometimes from your wins. So growth comes from celebrating both your wins as well as learning from your missteps. Also, you must have it both ways. You know, people say you can't have it both ways. No, you must have it both ways. So when it comes to praise and correction, you must have it both ways. Right. So your coach is always going to pat you on the back.
And at the same time, correct you.
And sometimes they're going to kick you in the bottom. That's the way it works. And you have to be willing to accept both, embrace both. You must have it both ways. Okay. Number 12, do not wait to be sought out. We talk about this often. Do not wait to be sought out. Own your development. It's your development. Speak to your coach more than your coach speaks to you. Seek out your coach, right? Seek out the wise counsel. That's why the scriptures tell us to seek wise counsel. You are the seeker. You're not waiting on somebody to call me. People tell you, well, I'm waiting on them to call me. Well, if you're following somebody that significant, you're not the only person they're dealing with. They're dealing with a lot of people.
Right.
So you have to seek out that leadership by owning your own development. It's got to be important to you to go get the answers that you need. Also, pursue feedback. Don't wait to get feedback. Go pursue it. Right. Find out what am I doing right and what can I improve? Like, think about it this way. A lot of times people say, well, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? Don't ask the question that way. What am I doing right and how can I improve? What ways can I improve? Because some things you may not necessarily even be doing wrong, right, but there's some things that you can improve upon. So let's be positive about our requests. Let's find out what can I improve upon, and then get that feedback. Everybody get it?
Yes. That's right.
It's not always so black and white, right? Sometimes we have to be able to understand that there are things that we're doing that we can improve upon, and it may not necessarily be wrong, but it can be better. Okay. Also, great students do not wait for the teacher. They seek the lesson. Okay, they seek the lesson. So in other words, find him or find her. Okay. So I want to put that up there as a bullet because I want you to remember that. You got to find those leaders and you got to seek them out. And I was just talking about that on a call I just got through teaching. It's important to understand when someone that is considered a leader give you access, you need to use it. Because if you don't use the access, you'll lose it. Like many of us, if we work in systems, at our job and things of that nature, if you're working in a system and you don't log into that system for a certain amount of time, sometimes they'll revoke your access because you're not using it.
Exactly.
And then they say if you ain't using it, then you'll lose it. And so when I say that about people, they'll think that that's mean. No, it's not mean. That's the way it works. If I give you access to me and you have it, you don't get just walk around and I got access to the doctor and I can talk to him, and then you're not using the access, but you just walking around trying to make yourself important like you got access. No. Yeah. Revoke the access if a person's not using it and give that access to somebody else who will.
Exactly.
Don't just do occupiers. Okay. All right. Get a screenshot for those that are in the room so you have the information. And let's move to number 13 here. So I'll give you a second to get that and then we'll move on. Okay. Number 13. Adopt a growth mindset, right? Some of us have a fixed mindset. We need to adopt a growth mindset. Believe that you can grow, improve, and learn new things. Right? I have to get people told sometimes, Evangelist Green, they need to understand what the scriptures teach. Now watch this. They'll say there's nothing new under the sun. That might be true, but it could be new to you.
Yeah.
It could be new to you. New things come from beyond the sun. So we have to understand that it could be new to you. because it's information you don't have. You're unaware. So you're made aware. It's not new in the universe. It may be new to you. So you can grow, you can improve, you can learn new things because there's always something that we don't know. Okay?
Right. That's why
So you have to be open to that growth mindset.
Right. That's why they say you learn something new every day.
You should. Yeah, absolutely. We should learn something new every day.
Yeah.
But that's an active process. That's not a passive process. We have to seek out that new information. Okay? Let every day bring something that will help you tomorrow.
Right. And some people don't want to come out that comfort zone to learn something new every day. They rather stay stagnant and stay in their own ways. You know, I've been doing this since I was a little girl, a little boy, and why should I change now? You know, sometimes we just have to get out there.
Yeah. So growth is on the other side of that. And so we have to be willing to do that. All right. Understand that mistakes are part of the learning process, not proof of failure. Right? Mistakes are part of the learning process, not proof of failure. So let's adopt a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Always growing, evolving, changing, adapting. Okay? Number 14, be humble. Right? Be humble. Manage your ego. You need ego management. Right? As long as you manage it right, then it doesn't have to be a bad thing because it helps you to drive toward being successful. However, you have to know how to manage it properly. Accept that you do not know everything and that others may see what you cannot. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to see everything. We all have blind spots. Yeah, we all have blind spots. I don't care who you are. Even the leaders have blind spots. That's why you need people, right, alongside you as a leader to help you see the things that you miss. That's what it's about. Leadership is a shared responsibility. So we share the weight of this load. I want eyes in the back of my head. That's the person that's behind me. Doesn't mean I have my eyes, but that person's got my back. So because that person's got my back, they become the eyes in the back of my head. Does everybody get it? That's important. Is to have eyes in the back of your head and you have some along the side to see what you miss. All right? So be humble and manage your ego properly. Number 15, seek feedback again. Do not just accept it. So don't just accept the feedback. You got to go seek that feedback. Okay? Ask for feedback regularly, positive and negative. Create space where others feel safe being honest with you. Now, when you accept feedback, you have to be willing to allow other people to feel safe with telling you the truth. If they feel like you're going to bite their head off, they're not going to tell you the truth. If they feel like you're going to punish them for being honest, they're not going to tell you the truth. So you have to create that safe space that allows a person to be honest with you all the time. That means you have to work on your responses. I have to manage my emotions and master them over time. Okay? So again, that part is important for you as a person. Number 16, listen to understand, not to respond. Listen to understand, not to respond. Avoid interrupting or mentally rebutting every time somebody says something to you. Now remember, we're talking about the coach-client relationship. We're talking about the coach-client relationship. So avoid interrupting the coach or mentally rebutting everything they say. Yeah, but yeah, but don't be that kind of a person. Okay? Listen with curiosity and intent to learn. Here's some ways you can improve. Start doing this. Don't start coming back with why you can't do it or why that's hard and all this other stuff. Listen with curiosity. They're going to tell me something that's going to help me, and then I'm going to learn it and I'm going to do it. And then we'll make some adjustments along the way. Okay. Number 17, be self aware. Okay. Reflect on your behaviors, your reactions, and patterns. Okay. So reflect on your behaviors, your reactions, or your responses, and your patterns. Patterns have a lot to do with your habits, the things that you do often. And then lastly, know your triggers, your blind spots, and your emotional responses. That's about being self-aware. So getting to know yourself better. Okay. All right, get a screenshot of that. And we're going to go to number 18. Okay, number 18. Take ownership, right? Do not blame others or external circumstances. Take ownership. Okay? Own your outcomes, own your actions, and own areas for improvement. This is what I got to go do, and you go do it. Okay? Own your outcomes, own your actions, and own areas for improvement. If it is to be, it's up to me. Go get it done. Take ownership. Okay? Number 19, stay curious, not defensive. Okay? Stay curious, not defensive. When you receive tough feedback, ask clarifying questions instead of justifying yourself. Okay? Learn a little bit more about the feedback. When you receive tough feedback, ask clarifying questions instead of justifying yourself. Okay? Number 20, apply what you learn. Now, we talked a little bit about that earlier, but here's a bullet for you. Implement feedback and strategies when? Right away. Right? Implement feedback and strategies right away. Think about it like this. It's like the coach calls a timeout, draws up a play. When does he expect you to run that play? As soon as you get back out there, right? Well, here's how you fix that. I expect that as soon as time resumes, I expect you to go run what I just drew up. So you got to take that feedback, take that strategy, and go implement it right away. So everybody understand that? That's coaching. Go implement what I just told you. The problem is a lot of us receive the coaching, we just don't go implement it right away. All right? Growth does not come from hearing good advice. It comes from applying it. Okay? Growth does not come from hearing good advice. It comes from applying it. Remember, it doesn't mean anything if it doesn't produce anything. It's got to go produce something. Okay? When you're the client or the student, number 21 is you want to ask great questions. Ask great questions. Okay? Show your commitment to improvement by asking thoughtful questions that help you grow and refine your understanding. Also, who, what, when, where, and how, never why. So that's what I was saying, because why puts a person on the defense. So ask great questions. And number 22, be consistent and reliable. When you are a client, be reliable, right? I can't teach you if I can't reach you. So you want to be reliable. I often talk about faithful, available, and teachable, right? Be faithful, available, and teachable. Coaches, mentors, and leaders invest more in those who show up on time, do what they say, and follow through. Coaches, mentors, and leaders invest more in those who show up on time, do what they say, and follow through. All right, get a screenshot of that so you have the information. Okay, number 23, manage your emotions. Okay, do not let embarrassment, pride, or frustration sabotage your development. Do not let embarrassment, pride, or frustration sabotage your development. Emotional maturity makes you more adaptable. Okay, so become more adaptable. That's managing your emotions. We're going to master them over time. That's important. Number 24, express gratitude. Okay, express gratitude. Show appreciation to those who help you grow. And you can express that gratitude in many different ways. Gratitude reinforces relationships and keeps your attitude aligned with learning. Okay? Gratitude reinforces relationships and keeps your attitude aligned with learning. All right, so those are 24 ways to be more coachable. Any questions about anything that I covered?
Oh boy. If anybody have any questions or comments, anything on Facebook or YouTube, you can kindly type it in and it will be read out. You can also call 718-300-1772. Don't hesitate. Call it in. Voice your opinion, ask questions. Get a feedback. Amen. Ooh. All of this is interesting. That one, I was just looking at when I lost it now since I was talking.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we talked about because we're going to go into another section of the course. We talked about what a coach does. We talked about coachability. We also talked about 24 ways to be more coachable and understanding why the investment is worth it. Like at the end of the day, seeking wise counsel is what the scriptures tell us to do. So we have to know what our resources are. We have to know how to get access to them. And then we have to leverage that access. It's important for us to always get good information. And we have to get the information from qualified individuals. We have some individuals out there with some really, really good information that can help us get what we really, really need. Okay? So let's always seek good information. All right. Let's move right into the next one, which is to be sure to create good habits. That's what we're getting ready to talk about now. Okay? Be sure to create good habits. All right. So for those of y'all that are writing, write this down. A person with self-discipline. A person with self-discipline knows that the best way to stick to any goal is to create good habits surrounding that goal. So a person with self-discipline knows that the best way to stick to any goal, because we're always making goals, right? But the best way to stick to any goal that you create, any goal you have to create good habits surrounding that goal. Okay? You'll often hear me talk about the 21-60-90 rule also. The 21-60-90 rule, right? It takes roughly 21 days to form a new habit. So whatever that new habit is, it takes roughly 21 days to form that new habit. A little over 60 to 66 days for the new behavior to become automatic. And then it takes roughly 90 days to make it a permanent lifestyle change. So habits are important. It drives not only what we do now, but what we do going into the future. So many times we find out or learn the right things to do, but we don't do those things long enough. Most of us end up quitting before the things that we do really take root. It's like if you trying to plant and you want something to grow and eventually produce fruit, but you keep uprooting it and moving it. If you uproot it and move it, you don't give it time to take root so that it can grow and produce. And that's what a lot of us do in our lives, is we have the right information, but we don't do it long enough. We always end up stopping. And that's what the enemy does a lot of times, is he just gets us off the road. Like, you're on the right road, but all he does is just get you to stop for whatever reason. Oh man, I was going to the gym and I was doing this. Oh man, I started a diet and I was doing good, but yeah, I was getting up reading the scriptures every morning, and then all of a sudden, right? So we're doing a lot of the right things. You're just not doing it long enough. Okay. All right. So let's talk about developing a new habit, right? If I'm going to develop a new habit, it takes roughly five ingredients to form a new habit. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to really develop a new habit. One is you need interest. It's got to be something you're interested in. If you're going to create a new habit, it's got to be something that you're interested in. Secondly, you have to have knowledge about that thing. Okay? You have to have interest. Secondly, you have to have knowledge. Thirdly, you have to have willpower. Because 21-60-90 rule, it takes willpower to do that, right?
And what was the last one?
Yeah, willpower. Number 3 is willpower. Okay. Number 4, it takes determination. And number 5, it takes practice. So interest, knowledge, willpower, determination, and practice. So you need a decent amount of those 5 ingredients to develop a new habit. Yeah. So when I did my workout this morning, today was day 78 in a row, right? So I'm past the automatic, but I'm not at the permanent lifestyle change because I'm at 78 days. Now, if I stop at 78, then it doesn't become a permanent lifestyle change. But that's when you need the willpower. One day I posted that today it took willpower, but I won. Because on that particular day, I didn't feel like doing it. It took all of the willpower that I had to get out there and do it. If you exercise every day like I do for 45 minutes, and you out there power walking and doing what you're doing, sometimes your feet don't feel like doing it. Sometimes your muscles are sore. You don't feel like doing it. Sometimes it's raining outside and you still have to go do it. So I have some alternate places that I have to go and do it. Is it always convenient? No. But what's most important is making sure I never miss my appointment with the work. Listen, what have you ever really committed to and didn't waver? You gotta ask yourself that. Like, what have you really committed to and you didn't waver? We're some of the most like starting people, but we don't commit to anything. We start a whole bunch of stuff, but we won't commit to it to completion. Most of us, when we get ready to check out of here, we're gonna regret having started so many things and never saw it all the way through to completion. What could have happened if you completed some of the stuff that you started? Yeah. Think about how many people right now, if you gave an award for how many people that started their college education, not the folks who graduated, but just the people who started.
And never finished it. That's right.
Yeah, you're going to have a ton of people that can get credit for starting it. They ain't finished it. And this is what I'm saying. So are you going to be a finisher? Or are you just going to start a whole bunch of stuff that you never finish? And the scripture talk about enduring until the end. How many people start this race and don't endure? He that endureth until the end. You got to have some staying power. And a lot of us don't have the staying power. And that's where willpower and determination kicks in. It's because that's what you're going to need to get through the difficult times. Does that make sense?
It does, because once you start something, you will have difficult times. Things is going to hold you back or try to stop you from doing something on your time when you know you're supposed to start something on that time. Something's going to happen that you have to, oh, I can't do it today. Oh, I have to wait. I can't do it right now, you know? But you have to have that willpower.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to have the willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Because it requires that negative resistance.
Yeah.
Negative resistance is a prerequisite for growth. In order for me to get to anything meaningful, there must be a certain degree of negative resistance. And I've got to have the willpower and the determination to get through that.
Right.
Dr. Akins, I like that part. I believe it was last week when you said that your mind and your body aren't always going to work together. Your mind's going to be telling you one thing, and your body's going to be saying something else. But if you keep it up, eventually they'll come together.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to listen, don't the scripture talk to us about bringing those thoughts into subjection?
Yeah.
You have to do that. Like, that's not just spiritual, that's natural too. You have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to bring those thoughts into subjection. When I'm driving to the gym sometimes, or I wake up in the morning and I know it's time for me to get out, like, there are some days when your feet hit the floor, your feet are sore because you've been exercising every day, 7 days a week. And then you like, man, my feet are sore this morning. And your body is trying to talk your mind. Your mind is saying, I don't want to do it. You got to bring that into alignment. Like, hey, man, we're doing this. Right? We're doing it. And sometimes from experience, I can tell you, I'm sore up until my first few steps. Once I hit my first few steps and I'm into it, then I feel okay. There have been days I didn't really feel like doing it. And by the time I got out there, I felt great. Once I got out there. But everything was trying to stop me from getting out there.
Yeah.
So creating good habits is extremely important. All right. So let's talk about 16 tips. I'm going to give you 16 tips to create and develop good habits. Okay. 16 tips. All right. Tip number 1. Focus on one habit at a time. Okay. Tip number 1. Focus on one habit at a time. Master one habit before adding another to avoid overwhelm and maximize success. So I don't want to feel overwhelmed, right? So I want to master one habit before adding another habit to that. Okay, it's called habit stacking. Habit stacking is something that I want to do, but I have to master one habit at a time because I don't want to overwhelm myself and I want to maximize my success. Resist the urge to multitask. until you become a finisher. If you're not a finisher, if all you are is a good starter, but you don't finish anything, stop trying to multitask. Discipline yourself to start something that you can finish and become a finisher, and then you can do multiple things. Because those multiple things will become a distraction. That's why you can be, right, a jack of all trades, master of none, is because you're just multitasking. But you're not really finishing or becoming good at anything. You're just doing everything. Okay? Only finishers should multitask as a matter of habit. If you're not a finisher, you shouldn't be multitasking. You should be focusing on one habit at a time. Right. Okay? So here's a tip to create and develop good habits. Focus on one habit at a time. Number 2, start small with specific adjustments. So I'm going to start small and I'm going to make adjustments. Here's what you do. Start, then adjust during execution. So once you make up your mind to start, then start. And any adjustments that need to be made, you can make those during the execution phase. Make sense? Yeah. Too many people adjust their plan before they know whether it works. Some people sit down and they're just trying to get their plan completely perfect. And that's all they're doing. They're in a holding pattern of just planning. They haven't done anything, but they done went and revamped their plan 13 times. But they haven't done anything with the first plan. And they done changed it 12 other times, not even knowing which one of those 12 or 13 times, which one of those plans was the right plan. So what are you basing your data off? No, all you're doing is procrastinating. Okay? Begin with clear, manageable actions. Clear, manageable actions, right? Like, for instance, walk 5 minutes after dinner. Don't say, I'm going to do an hour after dinner. No, don't start there. Start with something that's manageable, something that you can actually go do. Oh, I can get 5 minutes in. And once you consistently get 5 minutes in, then you can increase that number. But you got to start with something manageable. If 30 minutes is manageable, then start with 30 minutes. Don't start with an hour. Set yourself up for success, not failure. Right? So it's okay to be small. Start small. Small wins build momentum. So if I want to be able to build momentum, I got to get something started. So I can start small, build momentum over time, and let that small grow, right? When you master the little things, big things happen. So I gotta start small, manageable. Make sense? Yeah. Any questions about that? Start small with specific adjustments. And if you're working with someone who's like a coach or something like that, they can help you with what's manageable, what's doable. Okay. Number 3, anchor habits to existing routines. Now, we talked about habit stacking, but we're going to go into that. You want to anchor those habits to existing routines. So something that I'm already doing, I want to anchor a habit to that already. That's called habit stacking. So I want to link new habits to things that you already do. So if I have something that I already do, I want to link a new habit to that thing. So here's an example. After I brush my teeth at night, so the first thing you do is you already have an existing routine of brushing your teeth at night. If that's an existing routine that you already have, now what you can do is you can anchor a new habit to that routine. So after I brush my teeth at night, I will write one sentence in my gratitude journal. See how you did that? You linked one new habit to something that you already do. Does everybody see that? But it needs to be something that you already do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we do that. Okay. Now, I want you to think about really quick an existing routine that you have, right? Just think about something that it's already a routine for you. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. And you know you pretty much do it every single day. Just think about one routine that you have. And once you get that thought in your mind, then we'll think about what new habit that you can link to whatever that existing routine is to create something, a new habit. See how that works? Okay. Number 4, establish a consistent routine. Now, this is one of the things that you can do. Establish a consistent routine. Consistency builds structure and automation. So this is for a person who doesn't already have a routine already. Now you can develop a new one. You want to develop or establish a consistent routine. Choose a regular time and place to perform the habit. What is that habit going to be? And once you establish it, then that's the direction that you go. We are what we repeatedly do. And so we want to make sure that we're creating and establishing new routines that help us to get to where we really want to go. All right, that's 4 of the 16. So we got our screenshot for those that are in the room. And then let's move on to number 5. Identify triggers and obstacles. Okay. Number 5 is to identify triggers and obstacles. Know what prompts your habits, good or bad. That's about your triggers. What prompts your habits, good or bad. Recognize emotional, environmental, or time-based triggers. So know what those triggers are. Those things that trigger you to get going or those things that will knock you off track. You want to know what those triggers are. For a lot of us, this little thing that we call this little device that we have, this little device can become, right, a trigger. And that trigger can be an obstacle that keeps us from doing what we're supposed to do. A lot of times we know that we're supposed to start something on time, but you get on here and you start clicking and scrolling, and guess what? You've missed your time. Okay? So you have to recognize what your time-based triggers are, right? Understand what your obstacles are, especially when you're trying to create or develop good habits. Number 6, write an action plan to overcome those obstacles. Okay? Write an action plan to overcome those obstacles. Use if-then planning. If this happens, then I'll do this. If that happens, then I'll do that. So use if-then planning to write those things out. When you do your action plan, write if-then, use that if-then statements or if-then planning. If I feel tired, then I will do 2 minutes of stretching instead of skipping exercise. See that? So that's what you're doing. You're saying, if I feel tired, then I will do 2 minutes of stretching instead of skipping exercise. So let's say if you have a commitment to exercise every day, right? You have a commitment to exercise every day. But on one particular day, you find yourself being extremely tired. Instead of skipping the exercise altogether, that day just choose to do stretching. But do some form of exercise regimen, right? So you can always switch it up without skipping it. Don't skip it all together. Sometimes you have to slow your pace down but still do your time. When I exercise for time. So I know I got to get my 45 minutes in. So I don't worry about distance travel or any of that stuff. I just work on giving myself an honest 45 minutes worth of hard work. But there's some days that you're really sore or whatever, but instead of making excuses not to do it, you still do it. But some days I may have to adjust my pace. I can't do it so like when I go outside, if it's 93, like 91, 95, then I'm still going to do my 45 minutes worth of time, but I'm still going to be smart about it. My pace may be different, but I'm not just going to skip the exercise altogether. So everybody see what I'm saying? So you develop an action plan to overcome obstacles. If you're a runner and it's so super hot, and you also can swim, then today go to the pool. So you can keep cool, but you can still get your 45 minutes worth of swimming in. But it's still another form of exercise. So all you're simply doing is not compromising what the discipline is. You're non-negotiable. Don't compromise that. You can change things up, but you don't have to compromise it. Right? Mm-hmm. So today I can't go outside. It's storming. If it's storming today, then today I'm going to do 45 minutes worth of chair exercises. You always want to have a plan. Does everybody see how that works? I want to always have a plan so I can go straight into plan B or plan C or plan D. But I don't want to skip. Does that make sense? All right, great. Any questions on that?
Yeah. I'm looking at the part where it says I feel tired when I do 2 minutes of stretch, and you stretch instead of. That reminds me of, I think it was last summer or whatever. My husband and I went to the YMCA. I'm watching everyone do all these exercises and stretching and the stairs and everything. Me with my silly self, I get up there on the treadmill. I'm watching this lady, she's just going. I don't want to do that. I think I took it too fast.
Whoa, okay.
I took it too fast. I started off walking slow. Then I started speeding up. I want to be like that person over there. Then I looked to my left. The other one was doing. I said, I don't want to look like this is my first time. I want to do what they're doing. I want to do what they're doing. I speeded up some more. Now, what am I doing that for? Trying to be like the next person when I shouldn't have been like the next person. I should have just took it a little easy and just took it slower because this is my first time. Before I know it, it was time to leave, and we walked to the YMCA now. Why do we do that for? We come out the building, we had to walk down the stairs. I said, how am I going to get down them stairs? And how am I going to get home? I can laugh about it now. I want to cry. So you're right. When you feel tired, just take it easy. But I just kept on wanting to be like the next person, So I basically hurt myself. Then I had to go to the doctor, and he told me, don't do it no more. Stay off the treadmill, because you can't handle the treadmill, Just do something more simple, like walk around the corner, walk up the block or whatever like that. So that's what I have to basically do. I take one house at a time, I come back. I take the next house, the next week, come back, whatever, So, yeah.
Yeah. Got to find out what works for you. But then once you find out what works, then you stick to your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't compromise your schedule, because if you're always compromising your schedule, then you're never going to create a new habit. Exactly. Remember, the 21-60-90 rule still applies. Most of us won't even get to the first 21 days.
Right.
Yeah, we end up stopping. And so you want to stay with it. That's what you have to do. You have to stay with it. But you remember what we said in the other portion is don't compare.
Exactly.
If you compare yourself to other people, when I'm in the gym, I am not even focused on what other people are doing. Yeah. I am so caught up into what I'm doing, I'm not even paying attention to what other people are doing.
Right.
if a person passed me or if I pass somebody or whatever, I am so not even thinking about what they're doing because we're all in there doing something different. We're all working on something different.
Exactly.
And I just want to be committed to what I'm working on.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's what happened with me. I was so busy trying to keep up with the next person to my right, the next person to my left. And then when
Mm-hmm.
they get off the treadmill and get on the bike, I want to get on the bike too.
Oh my goodness.
I did it. I really hurt myself. I really did hurt myself. I'm like, how am I gonna get home? I don't know. I don't know. But thank God I made it home. But that's as far as I got. It's to the door. So
Yeah.
take it from me. Don't be like the next person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Take it a little at a time and then work your way and just make sure that's what you want to do and how you want to do it before you even get started. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, number 7 is to do not negotiate your non-negotiables. Right? Do not negotiate your non-negotiables. Set firm boundaries with yourself. You got to do that first. With you. Set firm boundaries with yourself. Discipline over motivation. Because you won't always feel like doing it. Motivation is really tied to how you feel, and you won't always feel motivated.
Yeah.
And in those times when you do not feel motivated, you need discipline to go and get that done. Okay. Also, make key habits non-optional. Optional. Okay. Non-optional. Key habits. All right. So don't negotiate your non-negotiables. Number 8, design your environment for success. Now, this is important. Design your environment for success. Set up your surroundings to encourage whatever the behavior is that you need to exhibit. So I want to encourage that behavior by setting up my surroundings. Keep water nearby.
Yeah.
Hide junk food. Place your journal by your bed. If you're going to do journaling, you got to place your journal by your bed. What am I doing? I'm setting up my environment for success. Right? If I want to get off the junk food, then I've got to, guess what? I got to set up my surroundings that encourage that behavior. I got to hide the junk food or don't buy the junk food. Right? If I want to drink water regularly, I got to keep water beside me. So I'm not just running around trying to go get it or coming up with an excuse where I'm not going to drink water because I don't feel like going downstairs. No, I want to have it with me. Right? If you want to make sure that you're going, getting your water intake, here's what I do. Like I keep a water on my desk because I'm in my office most of the time. So I keep a water on my desk. So I get me a room temperature water. It's on my desk. Then I have a cold water in the refrigerator. So if I want to do cold water, I'll go do cold water. And then I'll take a bottled water and I'll put it on my nightstand upstairs. Why? Because sometimes you want a water, but I don't feel like going downstairs. No, I got to design my environment for success. Exactly. So by taking a water upstairs and putting it on my nightstand, and I let it sit there. And it'll sit there. If I don't need it, then I don't use it. But when I do need it, it's there.
It's right there, yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
I do that too, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone as far as buying a little mini refrigerator and putting it in the bedroom and having a little mini refrigerator with stuff in there that I need. So if I didn't need to go downstairs, I could just grab what I needed out of there. Like, so there are many ways that you can design your environment for success. But you do whatever you feel like you need to do to make you keep your commitment because that's what it's about. Okay? Number 9, be realistic. Be realistically positive and celebrate progress. Be realistically positive and celebrate progress. Stay optimistic but grounded. Okay, stay optimistic but grounded. So I want to be optimistic, but I also want to stay grounded. Acknowledge small victories. They keep you motivated. Good evening, sir. They keep you motivated. All right, so that's important. So be realistically positive, but celebrate the progress that you're making. But don't lose sight of what your end goal is. All right?
Yeah.
So get a screenshot so you have that. We're in through number 9, and we'll keep on going. We're making good on time tonight. Okay? Number 10, take personal accountability without self-judgment. Now, that's important. Take personal accountability. We hear people talk about that all the time. You have to take personal accountability. Take personal accountability. You hear people tell you that all the time. What they generally leave out is without self-judgment. That's important. You want to take personal accountability, but you want to do it without self-judgment. Okay? Own your habits, but give yourself grace. Don't make excuses for yourself, but do give yourself grace. Learn from slip-ups that you have. Instead of criticizing yourself, learn from that. Learn from any slip-ups that you have.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like you just talked about. You had to learn from that slip-up, right? Yeah. Once you learn from it, you don't criticize yourself. Give yourself some grace. Don't judge yourself, but do take personal accountability for what you did. Here's where I made my mistake. I made a mental comparison of myself and somebody who's been in the gym often.
Right.
Yeah. So by making that comparison, I chose to push myself above and beyond what I was capable of doing as a starter. This is my first time.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that. All right. So take personal accountability, but do it without self-judgment. Number 11, make a journal for wins, mistakes, and tracking. Journaling is important. We talk about that all the time. Writing things down so that you have data points to evaluate your progress. Journaling builds awareness and reflection. So I become more self-aware and I'm able to reflect on real data points because I have things written down. I'm not just working off of my memory. Okay. Also record what is working, what is not, and how you feel about both.
Mm-hmm.
So record what is working, what is not, and how you feel about both. Okay. Number 12, track progress visually. So I want to track my progress based on what I see. Use a habit tracker, calendar, or app in order to do that. I want to track my progress visually. I want it to have something that I can see. I want to make it plain. Seeing streaks reinforces consistency. So when you're able to see it, that's the reason why you want to see it, because when you see it, it'll help you reinforce consistency. Once I start to see those results, I see what those results look like, then it inspires me to reinforce that level of consistency. So everybody get it? So every so often I will post how many days in a row I've been doing what I'm doing. So when I start seeing that number grow, it's hard for me to miss not doing it. I'm 78 days into it. Now that I'm 78 days into it, I can't wait to be able to post I'm 80 days into it. So I'm using that progress, that visual, to be able to say I'm 80 days into it, and I'm using that to my advantage. Right? I'm using it to reinforce consistency. Does everybody see how I'm doing that? Right? That's important. All right, number 13, seek support and community. Seek support and community. Share your goals with a friend, with a mentor, or a coach. Don't just have the goals just for you yourself, but share those goals with someone else. Community helps with encouragement, accountability, and resilience. So I have an accountability partner, and I'm constantly sharing with my accountability partner when I make my moves and when I'm doing it and when I've won the day. And my accountability partner does the same thing. So we can help to encourage and to help each other be accountable, help with the resilience that we need when you're doing it that way. Does that make sense? Don't do it by yourself. Have somebody that's helping you. All right, get a screenshot because we'll go to the next slide. 14 is on the next slide.
Doc, if you don't mind, could you give me a little more clarity on number 11?
Make a journal for your wins, your mistakes, and tracking.
Yeah, I'm in and out, came in a little late on that.
Okay. So what you're doing is, we talked about journaling, right? So you're constantly writing down your data points. But what you're journaling is you're journaling your wins of what's working, the things that are going right, but you're also writing down the things that may not be working. And you're writing down those impacts and having those data points for you to make decisions in the moment and also in the future, because you're tracking your progress that way. I want to know what I'm looking at 60 days in. I want to know where I'm at 50 days in, or whatever the case may be. And then I want to be able to go back and look at that progress and see, when I was 2 weeks into this, what was I doing? What did that look like? And I want to see what that progress looks like over time.
Okay.
So I'm constantly tracking the good as well as the bad, because I got to leverage both. It's not just the good. I gotta leverage both, the good, the bad, the indifferent. I gotta leverage it all.
Yeah, I didn't miss much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, number 14. 14, reinforce identity over outcomes. Right, so it's not just the results that are most important, but it's also how did I grow and change throughout that process. Instead of saying I want to read more, say I am a reader. So it's not just the outcome; it's the identity. I don't want to just read more. I want to identify myself as a reader. Does everybody see the difference? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you want to reinforce identity over outcomes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, identity shapes behavior more deeply than goals do. So if I say I am a reader, that will shape my behavior more than saying I want to read more. Because identity shapes behavior, and it does it more deeply than goals do. It's about who you become. That's why you often hear me say, who you are and how you are determines what you do and what you become. So the most important thing is who you are and how you are, which is your identity, over what you do and what you become based on your goals. Okay?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Number 15, reward yourself immediately, then move forward. So don't stay in the celebration. You want to do the celebration, but you don't want to stay in the celebratory mode. You want to move on, move forward. Use simple positive reinforcement, simple things, right? Smile and say yes, check it off, or treat yourself meaningfully. It's quick things I want to get in and get out of that thing, whatever that is. Okay. Also, number 16, be patient. Progress, not perfection. I'm looking at how do I progress? Progression over perfection.
Yeah.
Everybody see how I do that? So it's progression that I'm looking for. I know where my highest aim is, but it's the progression on that, the progressive movement in that direction. Okay? So It takes time to cultivate good habits, often 2 to 3 months. That's the 21-60-90 rule, right? 21 days, that's right in that month, right? 60 to 66 days, that's right in that 2 month. And then 90 days is right in that 3 months. So anywhere from 2 to 3 months is what it takes to cultivate good habits. Also, missed days are normal. Get back on task quickly if you are knocked off track. So there are going to be things that will knock you off track, right? And when it does, that may be normal to be knocked off track. There's always going to be something that comes up. But you want to get back on task quickly. Fortunately, 7 to 8 days into this, I haven't been knocked off track. But there's some things that will throw you off, make you have to adjust your schedule, change some things. But if it's non-negotiable, you find a way to get it done. Okay?
Yes.
Now, if you are looking for a good book to help you with your habits, right? Just look for the book Atomic Habits, Atomic Habits, Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a very good book. I got it behind me somewhere. I just have to look for it, but Atomic Habits. And you can also get YouTube Smart, go on there, and you can look up Atomic Habits by James Clear. He's got a nice little video on there that talks about habits, right? Some of the information from the book is in that video, but I'm a reader.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. I'm a reader, so I want to read it myself so I can highlight it. I love having conversations with authors that I probably would never meet, but I like writing that, highlighting some things from that book that'll help me with my own execution. Does everybody get it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So those are 16 tips to create and develop good habits. Okay. So I was able to finish up the first portion that we talked about and also went into good habits. So we can have some discussion over good habits. This is going to be my stopping point for tonight because I don't want to go into the next one and then I have to stop in the middle of it, right? So I really want to, because I think it's important for us to have some dialogue about these kind of things because a lot of people are just, like I said before, they're starting things and they never do it long enough. And if you never do it long enough, then you never take the time to create a habit that you can stick with, a habit that becomes a personal lifestyle change. Becomes a part of who you are, right? Let's just stop dieting and just make it like a lifestyle change. This is the way I eat now. Does everybody get it? All right, so these things are important. All right, any questions about creating and developing good habits?
Well, I didn't spoke about all of mine already. I think before even.
In this video.
Yeah, I think I already spoke about all of mine already. So, Sister Carol, you were saying something?
You said, was I saying something?
No, I thought I heard you say something.
Oh, no, ma'am, but I was about to say something.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dr. Akins, when you were talking about the 5 things that it takes to create good habits, is that what you said? Okay,
five ingredients, yes.
Sir?
5 ingredients to develop a new habit.
Okay, I'll fix that. So today after I got off of work, I didn't get to walk this morning. Today after I got off of work, I ended up going out at like about 6:40. I was on the pavement. And when I made it home, it wasn't cloudy. And it didn't say that it was going to rain. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Ooh. So I got out there and I did like 4 good laps. So I made it over 2 miles already. And my plans was to do 4. Anyway, it started getting really cloudy. And I was like, God, please don't let it rain, don't let it rain, don't let it rain. In my mind, the way I have it, I'm like so set to get out. I'm using the interest, the knowledge, the willpower, the determination, the practice. It's all there and I'm doing it. It started raining and I'm like, okay, I can take the rain. I can take the rain. I'm getting disappointed because I know it's going to get harder. So I'm like, don't rain, don't rain, don't rain. And then it started getting harder. And I'm like, you know what? My feelings were actually hurt because I had to cut my walk in half. So I was like, wow. And that actually works with a lot more things. Things happen. And
Yes.
sometimes you can't get that non-negotiable done because things happen. Like when nature happens and things happen, you have to cut it off. And when it's such a good practice and something happens, my feelings just get hurt. And
Yeah.
I feel like I have to make it up somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I was thinking about that while you were talking about that. I'm like, you know what? That rain broke me down today.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I say you have to build in. If you build in room for the unnecessary, like things that
Hmm.
happen, you
Hmm.
have to build it in. That's the reason why when I do my workout, I don't do my workout for anything but time.
Hmm.
I want 45 minutes worth of hard work. So
Hmm.
let's say, because I've been out and it starts to rain. So when I go outside, there's a routine that I go. I have a route that I go. I got out on that route, and in the middle of my route, what happened to you happened to me.
Hmm.
Okay. But because I was in the middle of the route, I have a plan B. My plan B is there's a plaza right there, which has a bunch of stores, but it has an overhead.
Hmm.
I was able to just get off the path. I was still walking. Now, instead of going around in this circle, I have to go back and forth up and down that catwalk, but I was still able to keep going because
Hmm.
I'm going for 45 minutes. Does not matter where I'm going. It doesn't matter if I'm going in a circle or a straight line or what.
Hmm.
I'm walking for 45 minutes and I'm using the same pace the entire time. So once it started raining, I just went underneath the catwalk and kept going until I got my 45 minutes in and then I'm done.
Hmm.
Right? If you don't have a catwalk and you're working for an hour or whatever your designated time is, you walk for however long you're walking. But if nature kicks in, get to the house and then just start doing some jumping jacks. Do some jumping jacks, run in place for a little bit, do some push-ups, do some crunches. But just make sure you do your 45 minutes worth of effort. Do some chair exercises. Like find something that you can continue to do for whatever length of time that you've dedicated to your workout. You follow me? You may have to make some changes to what you're doing, but you don't negotiate your time. I still give a full hour or a full 45 minutes of commitment to that process, even if I have to change some things around, which is part of the reason why I don't say I'm just going to do 45 minutes on the treadmill. What happens if the treadmill breaks?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I have to come up with whatever my alternate plan is going to be. And then I just go through it. So it'll help you to be able to not even give in to what happens, but you can get your full hour in, or your 45 minutes, or your 30 minutes, or whatever your commitment, whatever your time commitment is, you can still get that in. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just come up with a plan B, plan C, plan D, however you want to do it, and then just change channels. Right? Stay on task, even if something knocks you off track. So I try to do things that I don't need assistance with. So I come back and I do me some jumping jacks and some chair exercises or whatever the case may be. What if it's storming tomorrow and I can't even go out at all? What if the gym is closed and I can't even go in there at all? Like I know it's going to get cold here, especially in New York and in Massachusetts. It's going to be cold, so I won't even be able to go outside and do exercises outside. Now I can do it because if I don't get to the gym, I can always go outside. But I ain't going to be able to do that come wintertime. So I got to come up with an alternate plan. That may mean I may need to go up to the local mall. You know how the mall opens early, but the stores don't? But you see a lot of old people walking in the mall. They get their walk in inside the mall, right? Which is a part of my plan. So that's my plan C is to go up to the local mall and get my 45 minutes in and there. I see old people doing it, so I can do it also. The stores will be closed, but I can go in and get mine in just like they're getting theirs in. So it's just coming up with an alternative plan and then going into execution. So you don't break your commitment.
Consistency.
Absolutely. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes. That's right.
All right.
Good.
Any other questions on that?
I'm kind of disappointed that I missed out so much.
Yeah, no, but it's being recorded, sir, so you'll be able to get it.
Yeah, well, I need to ask questions as we go.
Yes, sir.
Kind of bothers me, but that the scripture says this too shall pass, or the word says this too shall pass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but there's a good video on YouTube about Atomic Habits by James Clear where he talks about the 4 stages of habit forming. So if you can go in there and find that video, he talks about the 4 laws of behavior change. He talks about habit stacking, all those things. So it's a good video. I have it embedded into the presentation, but I can't show it here. But if you go there and you look it up, you'll be able to see it. It's a really good video. So for those of y'all that are listening in, just go.
Yes, Evangelist, could you write that down for me, please?
What is the name of it?
It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a video that's on YouTube.
Oh. I think I've seen that. I didn't see the movie, but I've seen that name before.
Yeah. Atomic Habits. ATOMIC Habits.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, Evangelist Dream, I'm going to yield back the balance of my time over to you.
Time went kind of faster now.
It did.
Yes. Okay. Green, you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I missed out a lot, so I'm holding back until I listen to the.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that happens. We all understand where you are, so don't worry about it. Don't let it worry you, And thank you again, Dr. Akins, for your teaching and talking to us about these here. We learned a lot. And I hope everyone else on the multiple platforms also took in notes and they're learning a lot. I had to laugh at myself when I told you what had happened to me, but, this also gave me, it taught me as well, Take it easy and don't be a copycat, So, yeah. So anyway, until then, everyone have a great night, a good evening, and a good day. For those who are just starting off the Thursday, have a good morning, And until tomorrow, we also have Reverend Dr. Green coming on for his free flow Thursday. I'm going to get them words one day. Free flow Thursday. And Heavenly Father, we here as humble as we know how we giving thanks. We thank you for the teaching. We thank you for the learning. Heavenly Father, we ask you to give us more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of what's going on and what's being taught to us. Heavenly Father, continue to be with us, dear Lord, while we go through the rest of the evening, dear Lord. We ask you all these blessings through your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Everyone have a great night. Thank God.
All right. You too.
Love you in the name of Jesus and keep a smile on your face. God bless.
Recording stopped.